Connor, I think we start the show today with a segment that we premiered last week.
Upgrade or delete is said segment that Aiden is talking about.
That's the one. Sorry, I kind of cut you off with that.
No, that's okay. I didn't know. Sorry,
I'll do it again. Upgrade in progress.
Upgrade in progress.
There we go. This is a segment
stomp.
We like to hear from you guys, and this is how we're going to do your reviews. When we do our reviews for the new series, is we're going to have you guys send in little one-liners and stuff like that.
1 month today, by the way, to the new series.
That's correct.
Get excited, folks.
And we'll say that whether or not we agree with your shitty little opinions or we disagree by saying upgrade or delete. So we've got a couple little ones over on Twitter, on the Twitters, which are just general Doctor Who opinions, okay? So are we going to upgrade or delete these ones, Connor? Let's start with Jeremy.
Yep, my boy.
The old faithful. Jeremy says, the 14th Doctor's arc of him ending up retiring with a family would have worked better if it was Matt Smith with the Ponds. 10 and Donna's dynamics seem more like two best friends than a family like 11 was with the Ponds.
That's an interesting take.
Instant upgrade for me, mate. I love that.
That's a pretty good take.
I think that's a really good take. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at what happened to 14. Like, I do think it does fit his character to be with Sylvia and that. But...
So if I say upgrade, it means that like I would be happy if that happened.
Yes.
Yeah, upgrade.
Yeah.
Upgrade in progress.
That's right. That's
I love
me.
it.
I'm in progress.
You're in progress? Me too, man. It happens. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. I definitely think there's more of a family vibe to the Ponds.
But, I mean, the 11th Doctor is literally part of the family.
Yeah.
Like, isn't he literally he's the son-in-law?
Yeah.
So he literally is part of their family. So that would have been...
Also,
awesome.
the Tyler family as well. He was more of a part of that with like Mickey and Jackie and Rose and all that.
Yeah,
so.
Sylvia fucking hated the Doc. She
still kind of does, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I got hatred other than when she goes, "You."
She literally slaps him. Domestic abuse. Russell.
Would you do that if you saw the Doctor?
No, man, I'd be like, the fuck's going on, man? I'm a huge fan. How you doing? It's me, Connor, from the 50% Doctor Who podcast. What do you mean you don't know me? That's what I'd say.
So that's a good take from Jeremy. Definite upgrade.
All right.
From Dylan, the other old faithful.
Yes.
Dylan says, I don't care about Doctor Who canon anymore. Just give me good stories. Controversial take, this one.
I can kind of get it, because it's just gone to shit. Does anyone really care about what makes sense anymore?
Upgrade. I'm going to upgrade that.
I'll say upgrade, even though I am a simp for traditional Doctor Who lore, but this doesn't exist anymore, so...
I think it's just like I didn't really have a problem with The Timeless Child until Chibnall did nothing with it. And that's why I love those scenes in Wild Blue Yonder so much, because it was like, oh, we're actually doing an emotional thing with The Timeless Child.
Of course I keep running away. How am I supposed to live with that? Okay, I butchered it.
Something like that.
Move on.
Donna?
Is that you? Yeah.
Yeah.
All these years I've missed. Dude,
the splatter on the floor.
Oh, so amazing.
Bro, how much do we quote Wild Blue Yonder on this pod? I sort of slightly picked up on it on the time, but only when editing did I realize how much you did it. During last week's episode, you went, oh, I see.
Yeah, I do
so
that
many times.
I do that so much in my life, mate. Oh, I see. When your auntie was over and you would mention her, and I texted you, Mummy and Daddy, Auntie Iris. Why does he travel with someone as stupid as you? Did you rewatch it? Did you rewatch it?
I did watch it the other day. I think it might have been last Thursday I rewatched it, actually.
I'm going to do a vlog where I rewatch all 4 of them, but like through separate... Like, I'm going to do like I should probably do it this week. I'm going to do it the 4 weeks leading up. So 1 week I'll watch each episode and put it all in one vlog. So I should probably get onto that.
You should do what I did.
What's that?
All back to back in one night or 4. That was insane. And cool to do.
Sounds like fucking torture to me.
So this Dylan opinion, are we upgrading?
Yeah, I'll upgrade it.
I'll upgrade it.
Because canon's kind of fucking done anyway. Yeah. Who gives a shit anymore?
Let's not go too far with it. Like, let's not...
What do you mean?
Like, let's not give the Doctor 2 heads. I mean, they just did that in bloody Bi-Generation.
I might have 2 heads, or no head. You know what Exton says that?
Yeah,
Imagine me with no head. They got dogs with no noses.
I don't know.
He says that. It's like they got dogs with no noses.
I don't know that part. I remember Imagine Me with no head, but I don't remember if they've got dogs with no noses.
Dogs with no noses.
Okay.
Guess I'm more of a fan than you are.
Yeah, I'm a fake fan. Coming up on today's show, folks, we got some news about season 1, episode 2 specific. It's been a big day for the Devil's Chord, where we're going to talk about Jinx Monsoon's villain. It's been revealed. It may ring a bell or two to any fans of Bradley Cooper.
Of course.
And we're going to ask the question now, thanks to Empire Magazine. We're going to say, do you need Beatles music in the Beatles episode of Doctor Who? Okay, because I think it's a good conversation to be had there.
Why was there no Beatles music in the Beatles music episode?
And then the back half of the episode, we are going to be doing our Sarah Jane Adventures review of whatever happened to Sarah Jane.
Which apparently people love, but...
What, this story?
No, the Sarah Jane reviews.
Yeah, all 8 of you that turn up.
We're also doing Fingers on Lips, the segment where we talk about what we've been watching / reading / doing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good point. It's the segment where we shut the fuck up about Doctor Who. We say fingers on lips to Doctor Who. And
we say who? Doctor Who?
We say Doctor Who gives a fuck.
Who gives a shit,
We're going to talk about stuff that isn't Doctor Who. And we'll wrap up the show with that.
Yeah, go on.
Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 50Doctor, on TikTok at 50Doctor Who. Give us a subscribe on YouTube. Give us a 5-star rating on Spotify. Donate to us in the Ko-fi or by using the thanks button, which
Jeremy did.
Jeremy did. We had our first thanks button person.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeremy, for some New Zealand dollars.
To say nothing less than I love the Sarah Jane reviews.
Well, after we said last week how we were sort of thinking that maybe we call the Sarah Jane reviews, they got a bit of love.
Well, there's only one more left of this season after this one.
Yeah. We'll definitely finish season 1.
So we'll figure it out.
And then we'll take it from there.
50% podcast trap music. Trap music.
Trap music? Is that what the subtitle says on the auto-generated YouTube ones?
The Spotify ones are funny.
Trap music.
It's like auto-generated.
Oh, I have seen that.
And sometimes it just completely fucking misses everything that we just said.
Digital Spy has reported.
Just like that.
just like me.
Just like you ignoring me.
Digital Spy has reported Russell T Davies says Jinx Monsoon actually stepped off the stage after a Broadway run of Chicago to get straight on a plane to be the character of Maestro in Doctor Who, and I think we can say she enjoyed the part somewhat. He said, "It's a performance and a half." I'm losing my words here. I'm jumbling my words together.
You called.
You called.
Get it from the trailer, folks?
I got that. Oh, I see.
It's the Jinx Monsoon quote.
So Jinx Monsoon is playing Maestro. Not the Oscar bait movie.
Is that? I didn't know Bradley Cooper was in it.
Bradley Cooper, that you? Do you have a fake nose as well?
Yeah, that's nuts.
But a little interesting thing here. Maestro, Connor, can you stop jumping up and down the bottom?
Oh, you can see that?
I can see where you're going.
I can see you, but okay.
I can see your cursor jumping around.
All right, sorry.
Interesting fact. Maestro translates or means master.
Oh, fuck off. Get the fuck out of here. Are you serious?
Is Jinx Monsoon playing the master?
I hope not. Why can't we just get an original That's what Josh was yapping on about the other day. Okay. I don't want it to be the fucking master. Give me a break.
Okay.
I'm so sick of that character. Create something new.
I want to say, can we stop looking for meaning in this kind of thing? It's literally episode 2.
To be fair, that is pretty big.
No, but it's a musical episode. Calling her Maestro is just a fitting name for a villain.
It could be the conductor or something. Like the Fat Controller.
Because Maestro sounds cooler, and obviously Russell T Davies is a big fan of Bradley Cooper with a fake nose.
He mustn't have known about that.
What, Maestro? The movie?
Yeah, I doubt it.
I don't know.
Maybe.
But,
Maybe.
So, okay, here's a good one. Are you upgrading or deleting the fact that Jinx Monsoon is playing the Master?
I delete it. I hate it. I hate that idea.
But are you deleting it because you don't want it, or that you don't think it's true?
I mean, it could very well be true.
Do you think it's true?
Now I'm starting to get a bit worried. I'm gonna be honest. This is the first time for me seeing this. I actually didn't know this. This is my first reaction to it. I don't know. I guess I'm put on the spot here. Maybe it's true. Maybe. I mean, they did have the whole bit about the Master sealed in the Toymaker's tooth, and then we saw the tooth at the end, and it got taken, and then.
I mean, maybe that does
Why do that if you're not going to bring him back?
I think Russell did say he just did that for a bit of a lull, a bit of a ruffle.
But that's what he did at the end of Last of the Time Lords. But then he did end up using it in End of Time, so which is like, okay.
I think we've all got to calm the farms here and just say, she's probably not the master. It's episode 2. It's episode freaking 2. Okay? We're not bringing the master in episode 2. I'm not against it. But it's not going to happen. In episode 2 of a new era where we're trying to sort of like take off the shackles of the past, we don't need to know all about the Doctor and the Master's history in episode 2 of this new era. It needs to be about the Doctor and where the Doctor's
What if
going.
there's just a line where Ruby's like, who's the master? And then the Doctor goes, my oldest enemy.
You don't want to know.
Yeah. I can't talk about that. Yeah. And then they don't have to go into it.
Maybe.
Why was my I did my Jodie accent instead of my Ruby accent. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's I want her to be playing a fucking new villain who can be, you know, who can be as good as the master, okay? And doesn't have to be the master.
Yeah,
Call me old-fashioned.
I agree. I don't think she's playing the master, and I don't want her to be playing the master.
If
she does, you know, I welcome this new iteration, and we'll see how she goes with it. But yeah, we'll see. All right, big topic this week, mate. From Empire magazine, they've reported that Russell T Davies has told them. Here's a quote: "I knew instantly you can never play Beatles songs on screen because the copyright is too expensive. So I'm thinking, how would you do a Beatles episode without Beatles music?" And that became the entire plot. So
does that mean that there's a world without Beatles music?
There's a world with. Are you talking about Yesterday, the movie?
Yeah, is it like Yesterday for the Doctor Who episode?
Maybe Russell's accidentally made Yesterday
again.
Doctor Who.
Or is it when they're recording their first album?
I don't know. Oh, well, that Abbey Road. I don't think they were recording
True.
their early stuff at Abbey Road. Maybe they were.
Isn't Abbey Road their last album?
Yeah, but they recorded most of their music there.
Right.
Or at least, I know they definitely recorded their last few there.
Right.
But, all right, my thoughts is... okay, can you do a Beatles episode without Beatles music?
I guess we'll see. I don't know. It's a bit weird. Isn't
I think
it?
that's a good response because I think, you know, let's see how it works. If Russell has made a good plot out of the concept, I'm sure he can do that. And, you know, I'm not going in with any expectations. But if it is a Beatles episode, I'll be disappointed if there's no Beatles music. And the thing is, like, it's expensive to get the rights and we can be like, oh, poor Doctor Who doesn't have the money for that.
I thought it did now.
That's the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I know they are expensive. And you don't need 80 Beatles songs in there. So my thing is, as long as they have 1, maybe 2 Beatles songs in there, and I know they're saying there's not, but maybe they're a nice little surprise that are going on in there. As long as we have 1 or 2 Beatles songs, I will be happy, even if it's just a cover or something. Like we need to hear some Beatles thing in a Beatles episode. It can be a cover. It can be Shooty singing it.
So covers are less expensive to do?
Yeah, it's the pure songs. Shout out to Ben Cook, I think got pretty deep into this on Twitter the other day, saying that the covers are far cheaper to do. That's why movies like Yesterday can happen, and documentaries quite often use covers in them.
Na 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 na.
It's just,
Hey
it's just the
Jude.
sound designer just going, na 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 na.
How great would that be at the end? Everyone's dancing.
that
Na
would be
na
awesome.
na.
And so that's why I'm like, surely we have Doctor Who covering Beatles songs, not
Okay.
the actual Beatles songs.
Okay.
Like, that'll be crazy. But yeah, not going to judge it till I see the episode. It can prove us wrong. But this does make me think that perhaps this episode is slightly less about the Beatles than we think.
I was going to say that. So how much are they even in it? Probably not that much.
That's the thing. If it's just one scene at the start, then yeah, you don't really need.
What if
That
Jinx
much
traps the Beatles in a fucking another dimension and they have to go save them?
And she's like, the Beatles don't exist anymore.
Yeah, they're like, the Beatles?
Beatles who? And then Shooty and Millie are like, time to make the Beatles music.
Na na na
Nah, it's the
na.
plot of Yesterday.
Hey Jude.
I wouldn't even be mad if it was just the plot of Yesterday. It'd be funny if it was.
Yeah. Well, okay.
It would be funny.
Yeah. I guess.
So
I guess.
you're not happy about this news?
Whatever, who cares? I mean, I think like, do you think there'll be like parodies of the songs?
Parodies or
Yeah.
covers?
Hey, Rubes.
Oh.
Like that kind of thing.
Oh, Ed Sheeran going, hey, dude.
Yeah,
In
that-
Yesterday.
Should have, Chris Martin got offered that?
Yeah.
And he said no? Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Well, Chris Martin doesn't act.
Yeah, he does. He's in Curb. Playing himself.
Well, there you go.
Neither does Ed Sheeran, you fuckhead. He's in Game of Thrones, and that's it.
I think he had his acting error, and it didn't go that well.
No, it didn't.
And I think he's not acting anymore.
Neither does Ed, you fuck. Is Ed in fucking The Devil's Court? I don't know. I mean, it could be...
Rube.
Hey, Rubes. You know, I think it could be something like that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Maybe. Is that even cheaper if you change the lyrics?
Surely.
Do you even have to pay for it if you change lyrics?
Of course you do, yeah. If you're using the same melodies and stuff, you can get sued for whatever the fuck, you know?
Please don't sue me for just singing that then.
Yeah, we're YouTube's going to copyright us.
YouTube's going to copyright my sarcastic ass. I'm keen. I'm excited. I think...
so we had 2 bits of news of...
I'm not like you. I'm not judging it instantly.
I'm not judging it. I'm saying I will be disappointed though if there's not... If it is a full-on Beatles episode and there's no Beatles music, it's like... Is it a bit...
Well, he literally says, how would you do a Beatles episode without Beatles music?
And
so it literally says without Beatles music.
And here's my problem, right? I think Beatles episode without Beatles music feels like it's just using the brand. Once again, clickbait. It feels like it's like, here's the Beatles episode, it'll get people around
the Revenge of the Sidemen.
But
clickbait.
We're not going to save a bit of money on VFX and stuff here and actually get a Beatles song. Instead, we're going to not use Beatles music.
They are singing in it, though.
Well, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm still just as excited about this episode as before.
Guys and dolls.
I'm a little
just
scared.
A bunch of crazy guys and dolls.
When they've got the umbrellas and they're dancing in the rain, surely it's singing in the rain.
I'm singing in the rain. I'm singing in the rain. Do you think they'll release like the singles afterwards?
I hope so. That'd be sick.
Goblin's song went fucking huge.
It was massive.
I went viral on Twitter singing it.
Let's bring in
20,000 views.
Cover of Hey Rubes
20,000 views, by the way.
on Twitter.
Yeah, on my me singing the Goblin song.
Good job.
20,000 views, by the way. Just in case anyone's counting. The lead singer shared it.
Wow.
Good. Didn't want it to get 30. Next. Definitely didn't check the next day.
You're like, where's my 30?
Yeah.
Don't stop at 25.
Yeah. Keep going.
Connor, question.
Please.
Whatever happened to Sarah Jane?
You're so funny.
I know. Let's do it. Let's talk about some Sarah Jane.
Let's just jump straight into
this
it.
This is where everyone taps off of the podcast.
Yeah. See you next week.
That's me stuff.
Yeah. Great.
Whatever happened to Sarah Jane? It's review time, bitch. Whatever happened to... It's such a long name. Whatever Happened to Sarah Jane is the 4th serial of the first series of the British science fiction television series, The Sarah Jane Adventures. It first aired on the CBBC channel on the 29th of October and 5th of November 2007. One day, Sarah Jane Smith exists. The next day,
she doesn't.
Only Maria Jackson knows of her. Andrea Yates takes her place, but Maria knows that Andrea has done something to remove Sarah Jane from the space-time continuum. It is up to Maria to uncover the identity of the trickster if the human race is to survive. But with Sarah Jane and Luke wiped from existence and Clyde having lost all knowledge of his former adventures, Maria must save the world single-handedly. But she finds it may be time to tell her father about her secret life with Sarah Jane if the whole world is to survive.
Andrea Yates, reckon she's got a connection to Captain Yates?
Nope.
Okay.
Written by Gareth Roberts, directed by Graham Harper.
Our boy, Graham Harper?
Graham Harper.
Wait, what?
Crazy.
No way.
Great, big
Graham.
Big, I can't think of a nickname for him.
Big
Gazza.
Big G.
Big Grazza. Big Hammy.
Yeah.
Big Ham.
The Big Ham himself.
Graham the Big Ham.
The Big Ham. Okay, I didn't know that was... Okay, I didn't know he was in there.
Yeah, Graham the Big Ham Harper directed this episode, or as I put in the run sheet, detected this episode.
Beautiful.
I made this run sheet very fast.
That's okay, you did a great job, man.
Yeah, okay, so coming up to the end of season 1 of the Sarah Jane Adventures here.
Oh yeah, boy.
I don't know if I've seen this one before. I seem to remember the trailer. Like I remember the shot of young Sarah Jane hanging onto the cliff.
Yeah.
Or Andrea Yates.
The cliff. It's a fucking boardwalk.
The boardwalk.
The
Sorry,
cliff.
I like to exaggerate sometimes.
Yes, the cliff. They were climbing Mount fucking Kilimanjaro.
But I really didn't remember the plot at all. The grass being in this was a nice surprise.
Yes, from the fucking the
Minnesota or
yeah,
something?
well, the interactive. I remember after Christmas Invasion UK, you could click on your Sky remote and you could play it, and the grass would rock up.
That fucking rat. Isn't he a rat, the grass? What a fucking rat.
Yeah, so was he played by a little person?
Well, I don't think it was played by a big person.
Okay, all right, folks. And that is the correct term before anyone gets pissed off with me.
Okay. Okay, so you first, me first.
Yeah, he was. Jimmy V, he is, yeah. Oh my god, he played Banacana Fanalata. Banacana Fanalata. Can't I just call you Banner? No, Banacana Fanalata.
Alright, banana.
Okay.
Me or you first for review?
Who goes first? You go first, I go first, you go first.
Okay.
Alright, Poe.
Connor, I must say, Sarah Jane Adventures, it's been pretty solid. It's been really good, you know? This episode,
Yep.
absolute fucking king shit.
I knew you'd love
Absolute slay.
I knew you'd love it.
I loved it. I loved it so
I knew you
much.
would. I love that you love it. I love it.
It was so perfect. It baked that cake like we always do with Sarah Jane.
Yeah, you love this cake now.
I love this cake, mate. They've got an alien villain, a small alien villain as well.
Yep.
And then you have, you know, like the Sylvine had big Sylvine, small Sylvine.
Yep.
And then you throw in the mix a really over the top human villain who's also really fleshed out and not necessarily a villain.
Yep.
And then you throw in great performances, great character piece for Maria here. Shout out to Maria.
Yeah, this is like her episode, despite it
is-
being called Whatever Happened to Sarah Jane.
Yes, and my own I have one minor problem with this episode, right? It's actually not this episode. No, I can't even say that. It's just about the season so far of Sarah Jane Adventures.
You just don't feel that's enough.
I don't think we've had a lot of Sarah Jane in the Sarah Jane Adventures yet. She's very classic First Doctor in that she is like kind of a little bit, I don't want to say alien at times, but I don't think we've quite seen a lot of the nurturing, her mothering these kids.
You haven't peeled back the curtain enough yet.
No, the curtain's still very much drawn at the moment.
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe we'll see a bit more of her in the finale. Yeah, and so this, I was thinking, would be the episode where we got to see a bit more of her. But then, of course, as the plot transpires, Sarah Jane doesn't exist in this plot.
No.
So she's hardly in it until part 2.
Yeah.
And you don't get a lot of Luke in this one, which is fine. Or Clyde. It really is the Maria show. Maria and
Luke's
Alan.
barely in it.
Alan, my man.
My boy Alan, yeah.
Oh, goodness me.
Good old Joseph Milson. Yeah, he's great in it. He really is great.
Yeah, give me your thoughts.
This is like, maybe, I don't know. Well, I guess my best compliment to this episode is that like it maybe in this was a bad thing, but it doesn't feel like a kid's show. It's a very dark plot. Someone was going to die, and then
they literally let a kid
traded
die.
spots, and the trickster is fucking terrifying. That could be shown in fucking Torchwood or Doctor Who, and you'd be none the wiser.
There's shots in this that really parallel in series 12 Doctor Who, in Can You Hear Me, when those like deity god things come to Earth and they're walking through the streets at night. Mm-hmm. And they're like
that's scary with them walking through the street.
It is, but Trickster was scarier.
I love the trick. Okay, so the Trickster is my favorite Sarah Jane villain. Not only that, it's like one of my favorite villains. All the Trickster stories are notoriously fucking amazing.
Because what else is Wedding of Sarah Jane?
Yeah, there's one in season 2. Wedding of Sarah Jane is when he's wearing the white and it looks fucking sick.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Get it? White wedding.
Well, there was another one with Sarah Jane in the title in series 2. So is it like the Sarah Jane title trilogy? You got Whatever Happened to Sarah Jane. Season 3, you've got Wedding of Sarah Jane.
The Temptation of Sarah Jane
and
Smith.
then Temptation of Sarah Jane Smith in season 2.
Yes.
So is it the Sarah Jane trilogy?
It must be. I don't think he rocks up after that.
Yeah, right.
Which is a shame.
That is.
But
Big
yeah,
Finish.
I don't know if maybe in Big Finish. According to Crystal D, the Trickster is Ruby's mum.
God, did she say that?
Oh, it was just a theory. I'm not trying to.
Instant delete.
I did say that wasn't going to be the case, but maybe I don't know how good this show was with the kiddies because it's like kind of terrifying, and also I think the plot may be a little bit too complex for kids to maybe get it. I certainly loved it this episode as a kid though, so maybe, but I was a bit more intellectual than my classmates. That's a lie. I fucking failed everything. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong when I say that. Maybe I actually really respect that, like, you know, they don't treat kids like fucking idiots. And yeah, this is a fantastic story. I've always loved it. Trix is brilliant. It is like the Maria show. I think it gives Alan and Maria a really good time to shine, and you really do see their relationship. It shows you the importance of Sarah Jane. She kind of is like an Earth-based doctor, who stops all the shit when the doctor isn't there.
I like that we've had like 3 stories that have been Earth-based, and then last week it was like, oh, now we're doing space, and this week we're doing time travel.
I know, so I wanted to ask you about that. How cool is the time? Because I did know, but yeah, the time travel stuff is awesome.
Great music. If they can license body music in the Sarah Jane Adventures, then they can license the Beatles in Disney Plus's Doctor Who.
That is a really good song they play.
Yeah, they're popular songs. There's like, I think 2 songs they've played that are quite popular in there.
Clyde, don't put on that new stuff. Play the 60s.
Rubbish. Clyde's like, this is older than me.
This is older than me.
I got a good Clyde line in this episode.
Oh, it's brilliant. I know exactly what you're going to say.
I think I can fit you in on Thursday when he's talking about going on a date with Maria.
You know what? Maybe I should use that line. And how do you think that'll go over
I think I can fit you in on Thursday.
So
Clyde's one-liners, mate. They got me cackling.
Maria Jackson from school. Yeah, because he forgets who she is. So
you want to go on a date with me or what?
So does that mean that Clyde secretly likes Maria?
I don't think so.
He just wants the clout of dating her.
I think he's just well, in this version he doesn't know her. So in this version, I think he's sort of a bit of a bad boy. You know, he hasn't had the Sarah Jane effect.
That's right. That mellowed him out a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, I think he's a bit
that made
more
him
chill.
a better person.
You know, he's one of the gang in Sarah Jane's timeline.
Right. What did you think of it? So you'd never seen a Trickster story before? Oh no, you've seen the David Tennant one?
Yes, I have, but I don't know anything.
The wedding of Sarah Jane.
Like, I don't even know if I did see all of that. There's so many Sarah Jane episodes that like I know of, and I could tell you scenes. Like I've seen a bunch of scenes from that wedding of Sarah Jane one. Couldn't tell you if I have watched the entire episode though, or episodes.
That's the last thing David filmed, wasn't it? Until when he left and didn't come back into the
last thing he filmed was the
I know the sleigh.
Ident.
I know the item.
The Christmas ident.
Part the actual.
Yeehaw!
Woohoo! Yeah, apart from the item, it was that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think of the Trickster?
Trickster's great.
He really is
a bit more Trickster, but you know we've got more to come.
He's mysterious.
He's a baddie.
Sarah Jane.
Sarah Jane.
I got teeth and no eyes.
You must decide.
Nom nom nom.
Who dies instead?
I feed on chaos. That's such like a kid show villain though.
It's my food.
Like I feed on chaos. What the fuck does that mean? I'm not mad at it. Like it totally works for this, but
it means life.
Nah, it's like, well, you know how he's like, and to think of the Doctor, if he was gone, the chaos that would create.
Yeah.
My fucking 10-year-old ass at home, like, the Doctor?
The Doctor gone?
The Doctor gone?
2 years later, turn left.
Yeah,
Like,
and then
no.
Turn Left shows me exactly what would
Trickster's
happen.
pet bug in Turn Left.
It does say that. So it says here that so Paul Mark Davis previously appeared as the future kind in the Doctor Who episode Utopia, and later as the Kroll leader in the 2000 episode Torchwood Exit Wounds. Okay, that's not what I meant to read, but
here
it was only halfway through I realised.
Here on 50%, we just read random facts to you and hope for the best.
What I wanted to say is that the Tricksters Brigade is the only creature to be in all 3 of the Russell T Davies spin-offs. They're in Sarah Jane.
Technically not a creature though.
Did I stutter when I said the Tricksters Brigade?
You said the only creature to be in
Oh, stop it. So, the only 3 of the Brigade. Mm-hmm. No. The Brigade's in all 3 of the RTD shows. So, yes. Doctor Who, Sarah Jane, and Torchwood. So, it's in this for Sarah Jane. The Beetle from Turn Left is Doctor Who. And I think it's a Beetle again in the Torchwood episode with the hospital. I think it's in season 2 with the hospital where they go to the hospital and they keep seeing all the old...
Isn't the hospital the Grim Reaper?
Maybe. But either way, that's the Tricksters Brigade.
I'll try to do some fact checking.
The Tricksters Brigade. Why am I struggling to say that word? But yeah, the actor...
Tricksters Brigadier?
The Brig.
The Brig.
The Brig probably had a few scraps with the Trickster himself, but...
Probs, didn't it, bruv?
But yeah, be sure to catch up on the Trickster trilogy before it's revealed that he is in fact delivering Ruby Sunday to the...
The Trickster trilogy?
The Trickster... Isn't it? He doesn't come back after the... Wedding River song. Fuck me.
Trickster is briefly referenced in
been a long
Torchwood
week.
Miracle Day.
Is he?
Yeah, in the episode Immortal Sins. Also, in the episode Captain Jack Harkness, they deployed an alien parasite that the Tricksters Brigade had planned to use to infect U.S. President Franklin Roosevelt to create an alternate timeline where Nazi Germany won World War II. Sorry, what episode of Torchwood is this?
What, Miracle Day?
No, so it's referenced in Miracle Day, but in the episode Captain Jack Harkness, so I think that was towards the end of season 1 or season 2?
Mm-hmm. That's the second last episode.
Yeah. No, they are talking about Miracle Day. Sorry, I'm getting confused now. No, in Miracle Day...
What the fuck is going on?
I don't know what's going on. Okay, here's a fact for you, because we keep talking about this bloody Tricksters Brigade. What the fuck does that even mean? The Tricksters Brigade serve the recurring Sarah Jane Adventures villain, the Trickster. They also feed on chaos in time, as the Trickster does. I cannot talk today. In Turn Left, a time beetle is there, creating a parallel universe. In the Torchwood episode Immortal Sins, it is referenced. There's a Trion in Planet of Fire, which is a humanoid species with no visible differences to human. Trions are quite intelligent. I don't know. No, that's not connected. I don't even know. Does this all end up on the cutting room floor? I don't know what's going on anymore.
He played the Shadow King in Class.
Is he in Torchwood? I can't find any fact of the
No,
being
you
in
fuckhead.
Torchwood
I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, tell me.
It's the Beetle.
What Beetle?
Not to be confused with the Devil's Cord. No, it's the fucking Beetle in the hospital episode.
I don't remember this Beetle.
I'm
sure you're right.
You talk, I'll find it.
I don't. Okay, I'll just talk. I'll just rip some.
Talk about the Shadow King
ass.
having sex with the other guy.
The Shadow King having sex. You gotta watch our class review if you want to hear about that.
Well, that's who plays the Trickster.
Okay, so this was absolutely Sarah Jane at best, and I don't know. Like you've got the bloody meteor coming to Earth, which I think was a good twist and made it be like, okay, you know, every good story I think needs to have a reason as to why it's being told now. And I like the idea that, you know, it's not only that Sarah Jane has disappeared, but it's Sarah Jane disappeared, but we need her back right now. Because without Sarah Jane,
why don't they just call the Doctor?
There's
or
no
Unit?
Mr. Smith, and without Mr. Smith, they can't stop the meteorite from crashing to Earth. So I love that. I thought that was a good little bit to
just
like,
call
add to the
Unit.
stakes. Oh yeah, because Maria just has Unit on speed dial.
Could Unit not stop it?
Don't question it.
Just did.
Also, Torchwood was
that?
around at this point, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Surely they have a big laser they just shoot at the...
There's nothing we can do. We're dead.
We're dead. What's that from?
That's from Storm Earth.
That's it. We're dead.
We're dead.
Ah, hey, What did you think of Sarah Jane's friend?
Sorry, just real quick. Behind the scenes, the Trickster Brigade is the only enemy to be faced in Doctor Who, Torchwood, and the Sarah Jane Adventures. However, in audio dramas is taken into account, the Slovene family Sontarans also qualify.
What? So in Big Finish, Sontarans and Slovene become part of the Tricksters Brigade.
One of the brigade's attempts to radically change the universe created a world where Dawn and Noah never met. The Doctor's companion stopped some of the friends there have also died in Jack Harkness's case. I feel like I'm you right now, going down a rabbit hole.
Now we're just reading random facts. Yeah,
but it's that fucking episode with the stupid beetle.
Is it though?
Yes, it literally says here.
Because why is there no facts though?
I don't know. They don't care about my feelings.
I know they hate us. Yeah, can you tell me what you think of my favorite character, whose name I really remember, Andrea?
Is that Maria's mum? The one who goes off to the fucking...
No, I'm talking about...
I'm dating the Taekwondo man.
Maybe that is... No, Andrea. No, Sarah Jane's friend.
Oh, that little bratty 13-year-old.
No, I'm more talking about the actual character.
Reminds me of you at school.
The older version of her, the villain.
She's great. She's there's many things that are interesting about her, I think. Have you seen that? The Will Dafoe thing? All right. She has a love of classical music. I don't know. Yeah, she's good.
Asking your opinion of her? Yeah, she has a love of classical music.
She has a love of classical music. There's many things that are interesting about her. I don't know. I think that it's an interesting... I don't know. It's an interesting thing. I think it's a bit... I do like her scene with Alan. Where it's like, you do that to your own best friend. She's like, I was 13 years old. I'm like, yeah, come on, Alan. Like, if I was 13 and Aiden was hanging off a fucking thing, I'd be like, maybe I do deserve to live more. Nah, I wouldn't do that. That's me.
Nah, you would.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
You would.
I wouldn't.
Well, you just acted on instinct in the first second there, and I'm going off of that. There's no takesy backsies.
I'm clearly just making comedy for the show.
I think what is really great about Andrea is that, yeah, she's the villain, but she's not the villain.
Yeah.
You know, she's just a kid doing what a kid would do.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah.
You're just retracing what I said.
And so as an adult, she's like, you know, she's living with that terror of that decision that she's made that's haunted her.
Right.
And so now it's like when John Smith dies at the end of Family of Blood, right? Where it's like, you know, they're essentially killing him because he's not going to exist. The person that he thinks he is won't exist anymore. And for this, it's like Andrea has lived this life, and she's got to come to terms with the fact that she's gonna never have existed. All the things she's done never had existed. Here's the most bullshit thing, though. Mm-hmm. And it's a kid's show, so I don't really care. It's just fun.
Keep that into account.
I will.
I'm joking.
Is that in the post death of Sarah Jane timeline? Mm-hmm. Okay, Andrea also buys 13 Bannerman Road.
I think it's just a replacement. It's not. I know that's a bit convenient. I know, but it's just a replacement.
What do you mean?
It's just a replacement. It's like, I suppose you're right. I don't know.
It's an alternate timeline where Sarah Jane died and Andrea lived on. But Andrea, for some reason, also made the same decisions as Sarah Jane.
I think it was a self-conscious, like, you know how she said she kept the cube. It's like kind of in her hair, but it isn't.
I think they needed to save money and couldn't get new sets and had to keep using the Bannerman Road sets.
That's most totally probably the thing.
And I don't care about that.
I thought it was just maybe like a psychic link. Am I just making shit up that maybe fixes this plot hole?
I think Maria should have gone to the door and someone should have answered
and a fat old man answered.
And some random asshole should have been like, Maria,
Sarah Jane?
I told you not to come to my house ever again. And then starts beating her with a stick.
So why? What did she do?
In my timeline? Then Maria would go, all right, so where's Sarah Jane? Google. There's no Sarah Jane. But the thing is, my version of the plot, it's so much more boring and more thick. It is so much easier to do it the way that they've done it. So I think it's the right choice. I'm just saying, this ultimate timeline is flawed. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
Why are you just typing up Doctor Who on Google?
Nah, I was just trying to find, like, do you know how they have that fake search engine in Doctor Who? That they always use.
Oh.
Like Yelp or something. Nah, Yelp's in a website.
It's like it's got like a pyramid.
Doesn't it have an owl on it with the two eyes? I know they use that. In either way. I'm a fucking dumbass. Who cares about this bullshit? I'm such a nerd. I couldn't find the Time Beetle thing, but there is definitely one in Torture. For some reason, it's saying the episode Captain Jack Harkness, which is the semi-final of season 1. But I swear to God, it's that episode with the hospital where you see all the ghosts walking around, and I swear I said that in our review, and now I feel shit because I feel like it wasn't that.
You're lying to us.
I didn't mean to.
We need to talk about this episode a little bit, Connor.
I did, yeah. What do you want me to say about it?
Well, what do you like? Is there anything more you like? We haven't really spoken much about Alan. Alan's wife is in it.
I think it's the direction in the scenes where Alan grabs the fucking cube. It's so wacky. And it's
with the
it's like spinning around. It's like, whoa.
Yeah, they've got the fisheye lens.
Yeah, imagine filming that. Like,
crazy.
Whoa.
There is some, but what do we call him? Graham the Big Ham Harper does some crazy ass things in this, like, direction wise. So there's that, and there's all sorts of, like, really cool shots. Like even at the end when the four of them are all standing next to each other when Alan walks in. There's a great shot there. Awesome shots throughout it.
Someone's going to tell me what the hell is going on here.
And then there's also a couple of scenes where it's a bit like, I understand his intention, but it's just being a bit weird. Like, there's a scene where I think Maria is talking to Alan and they're splitting up on the road, and Maria's going to Sarah Jane's house and Alan's going back into his house. And it's just like they've got these like slow POV shots of each other that are slowly zooming in, but the zoom is very much like jittery. Like it's not like a clean zoom in. It's like a jittered, like someone's slowly trying to zoom in.
Right.
But yeah, just like the shots just look interesting.
I think that's true. I think he was like smoking some fucking Mary Jane or something. I was going to say like this direction is fucking whack, and I didn't know it was Graham. But obviously I love it, but I still think it was fucking whack.
Big Ham Harper was like, I'm not doing some classic kids show direction. He was like, let's go nuts. Let's get the wide angle.
I can respect that. I mean, it definitely adds something to the episode, that's for sure. And I love that.
I love it. It's really, really unique. And you know, the script by Gareth Roberts is really good as well.
I hate to say it.
Unfortunately, Gareth Roberts has made a really good script here. Once again,
His Sarah Jane stuff is really good, though. It's a lot better than his Doctor Who stuff. He does all the trickster stuff. I know that for that. He did the Savine one, didn't he? He did,
yeah.
Yeah, it's really his Sarah Jane stuff is really good. I hate to say it, folks.
It is good because like the trickster, great villain, so threatening, and just
He is. It could have been done in Doctor Who.
Perfect.
It was technically.
But it's also perfect for a kids show because it's got just enough ambiguity about it to work in a kids show. Whereas if you had a villain in Doctor Who that just said it feeds on chaos, I would be like, but what does that mean? You can't just feed off chaos. But
that's
it's a kids
Jinx
show.
Monsoon's character, I think.
In a
I
Maestro
feed off
equals trickster.
I feed off chaos.
But in I think a kids show, you can get away with that stuff a lot more. Yeah.
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 Oh, what do you think of the skateboarding?
Oh, I'm so glad you brought this up.
So fucking funny. I knew that shit was coming up.
Oh, I see.
I love that shit. Dude, Alan knocks out the grass on a fucking skateboard. He's like, couldn't you just run up to him? It's like, nah, I'm gonna like, because like they both collide. They both start rolling down the road.
He zooms around on the corner of the skateboard and just shoulders the grass. That is so funny.
And then sends himself flying in the process.
But no, the doing the sick tricks.
Oh yeah,
on the skateboards. Oh, it's so. You know, Alan in this episode was so. Hi there, fellow students.
Hey there, fellow kids.
Yeah.
How do you do, fellow kids? Yeah.
Much of the meme, but
you're old, says Clyde Langer.
So funny. And like the music that goes with it, and they're all like taking cool photos as they're hanging out. Like one of the little pics I used as part of the thumbnail for this episode.
I did notice that.
It's just Clyde on the skateboard.
Yeah, I did notice you did that, yeah.
And there's like, they've got these like sick pics of Clyde on the skateboard with like a time vortex in the background and stuff. Like,
it's awesome.
Crazy.
That's such a great way to start the app. It sucks that these characters aren't going to be in the next season. That's what I keep thinking.
Yeah, because I've always thought like, you know, because I always liked Rani, and I think maybe I always liked Rani, and I think maybe as a kid I had a bit of a crush on Rani. And
we all did, baby. I had a crush on Maria and Rani.
Well, I never really watched season 1, as we know, as a kid. So I was never, I never had the Maria experience. And so I remember...
Aiden sucks.
I was always kind of like, move over Maria, it's Rani time. Whereas now it's been nice for me to actually sit down and see Maria as a character and be like, damn, Maria is a fucking good character. And this episode would not be the episode it is without Maria's character work from a writing perspective, but also without me... Fuck, I cannot talk today.
Yasmin Page. You either call her Maria or Yasmin. It's never in the right order.
Yasmin Page is exceptional. Like she
is really good.
And I think she's the character that has had the most screen time and the most development throughout the series. And I'm going to be really sad to see her go in season 2.
She's only in three more episodes, unfortunately.
I know.
And one of them's just a little cameo.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts that Luke's not in it a lot. He's barely in it.
Yeah, I feel like
he's got like a couple scenes.
Luke and SJ haven't had much going on. I seriously feel like this is the Maria show.
Do you know what I did find weird? Is that Sarah's like, give this to the person you trust the most, and she tells Luke to like go fuck off and put the kettle on and then gives it to Maria. I'm like, if I found out my mum said that about my mate and not me, I'd be like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
Or did she do that on purpose because she knew I don't know.
You know, the other thing that I
feel like Luke could have saved the world just as much as Maria could.
I had a moment where, watching this episode, I was like, I'm really dumb. I'm really dumb. Do you know why?
No.
Because obviously Sarah Jane, last name Smith.
Yes, Luke Smith, yeah.
Mr. Smith.
Yep.
The computer in the wall.
Yep.
Does Sarah Jane just think that's her husband?
I think it's just a bit of a joke.
She's called it Mr. Smith.
It's a joke. It's like, yeah, it's a joke. What, you think some funny business is going on?
No, it's a kid's show, Connor. I'm not going into funny business on a kid's show.
Well, you're implying it.
No, I'm just saying maybe she...
What do married people do, Aiden? They make babies.
Maybe she touches his bricks every now and then, you know.
It happens.
We can't.
Mr. Smith, I need you.
We can't keep doing this, mate. We can't.
Dun, 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 dun. Sarah Jane, your clothes seem to be off.
Whenever Whenever I want to get some, I'm going to play the Mr. Smith I Need You theme and walk out.
What, sorry?
Whenever I'm going to get some, I'm going to play the Mr. Smith I Need You theme and walk out.
Dun, da, da, dun, da, 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 da.
And when my partner kids start saying, Aiden, I need you.
Dun, da, da, dun, da, 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 da.
This is ridiculous.
You're a funny fucker, Aiden.
Yeah, well, someone's got to be on this show. I feel like we're
hell?
not giving enough credit to the grass.
It's not very nice.
The grass is funny. What do you think of his CGI grass world?
Didn't look as bad as it had any. What?
Let me give you the hot tip. It looks a lot better than anything Marvel's done the last 3 years.
Okay. Nah, it did. I'm saying it looked a lot better than it should have. Mm-hmm. Considering it's got like the budget of a fucking Tesco's meal deal. I don't know why I said that. But yeah, it looked good, I think. I don't know why it was in the sky.
It's just a cool space planet, I think. What about the void that they took Sarah Jane and Maria to?
Just the white green screen.
Yeah, just...
Didn't you say a few weeks ago, like, never do a white scene, folks. It looks terrible.
Well, it depends, because this is like a clear void space. That's what I've got on.
Oh, you meant just don't
I was
do
talking
a
about
white
shooting
office.
in rooms that are just like white rooms, like we do.
Shooty
right now.
Gatwa. Yeah. Nah, I think it looked good. Maria, it's me, Sarah Jane. And she's like, who the fuck are you? Never met you in my life. Just kidding, I do remember you. I had the...
Pranked.
Yeah.
It's kind of just a big prank, this episode.
It's a big prank, bro. She's got a Rubik's Cube and it's just spinning around. Like, I'm just kidding. Remember you gave me this shit? It's a big Rubik. It's like a metal Rubik's Cube, you know? It's not that funny, Jesus. I've cracked way better jokes this pod, and that's what kills you. Jesus.
I like that Rubik's Cube joke.
It is a Rubik's Cube. It moves, and she's doing this and shit.
All right, let's park the Sarah Jane chatter for a second, okay?
Thank God.
We'll come back and give it a rating out of 10.
We'll give it a good old rim.
At the very end of the episode. But before we get into that, let's shut up with all the Sarah Jane Adventures talk.
Mr. Lips, I need you.
Yeah, Miss Lady from Fear Her, I need you. It's time for Fingers on Lips.
Feeling guilty, are we?
Fingers on Lips!
In the last 6 days, 3 of your children have been stolen.
Yep.
I love how you never cut it.
I know, I just thought I'd let that hang for a little bit and see where it goes.
Oh, it was brilliant.
Yeah, it's good content. There's a plane in the background there. You could hear it. I don't know if that's on the recordings or whether that was something.
There's planes in real life, and
Yeah.
there's
Doctor Who's filmed in real life, notoriously.
yeah.
It's a segment where we talk about other things outside of Doctor Who, because there's not a lot going on with Doctor Who at the moment. So, Connor, can you give me the hot tip? Give me one, maybe 2 cool things that you'd like to recommend to me and the listeners.
All right. I have the best thing to recommend for you. And I know you're going to love it because you love this kind of thing.
Do I?
So,
Is it After Sun?
no, I need After Sun after today.
Same. Yeah, we're both pink.
We're
as
both
fuck.
pink.
We're both pink.
We're
as
both
fuck.
Danny Pink.
Dead now, of course.
He is dead. Have you ever heard of the British Bear? The Bear UK? What's so fucking funny about that? The UK Bear?
Sorry, you mean
The Bear, the TV show,
TV
the,
show
Bear,
The
the UK version.
they've got
No, they don't.
who plays Kami?
Stephen Graham.
Okay, what is this?
So it was actually I'm actually saying this is a joke because it actually was done before the Bear. But and you know me, I like the Bear, but I'm not a huge fan. I personally enjoyed this show / movie a lot better. So
Is it a show or movie?
both. So well, actually, it was a short film made in 2019.
Yep.
It's all in one take, and it's in a
Oh.
kitchen. And it's
Oh.
fucking amazing. And the short film is amazing. What I will suggest though is that don't watch the short film before you watch the movie because they take inspiration from that. Watch the short film after you watch the movie. The movie's an hour and a half. It's all in one take, and I mean they don't cut. And they work.
There's no hidden cuts or anything. Like it's
No hidden cuts. And so they were gonna do. They only did 4. They did it 4 times, but they were gonna do it I think 10 times, but the pandemic hit. So they only did it 4 times. I think they chose the second time they did it. And it's all in the kitchen. And it's fucking amazing. So watch...
That's so unlucky
What do you mean?
that this movie came out and about the same
I
time the Bear
know.
TV series came out. A show set in a kitchen,
I know.
and episode 7 is all in one take.
I know. It's not getting the love it deserves. But watch the movie, you'll fucking love it, and then watch the short film because it's amazing. That's also in one take. But last year in October, they started a TV show out of it, and there's 4 episodes, and I've watched the first 2.
Right.
They're really good. It's not as good as the film, but I just know you'll love it. And the TV show is the TV show is not in one take. No, I mean the opening scene is like in one take, but the director returns to do the first 2 episodes, and it's brilliant. It's got Stephen Ogg in it, who plays Trevor in GTA 5.
My boy.
And he's in Better Call Saul and Walking Dead.
Dead.
Yeah, he's brilliant. He's fantastic. It's such a random person to be in it, but it's a British show. The lead actress in it played Rosa Parks. And she's in Sherlock.
Oh, Sherlock, yeah.
And she's in 42.
Sorry, not Rosa Parks, in Sherlock. Rosa Parks.
Well, she's in Sherlock too.
Yeah, and I said in Sherlock. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
it's up your alley, and so the short...
Is it a bit wanky?
I don't think it's wanky at all.
I'll hate it then.
I think it's... Oh, okay.
I only watch wanky things.
Okay, it's really wanky.
I can't wait.
So, the short film is on BBC iPlayer.
Mm-hmm.
The movie is on SBS, which you can watch for free. That's how I watched it.
Oh, but SBS is in 540p and filled with adverts.
It had like 4 ad slots.
But it's in 540p.
Just watch it, you're gonna love it. And the TV show's on binge.
I'll see if I can track it down on Google.
I
Play or
think
something like
I
that.
genuinely think you'll fucking
On
love it.
Amazon.
I thought it was fantastic. It takes so much talent, and
100%.
I don't know how they did it. And all the actors in it are amazing, and like they happen to nail these like huge scenes in one take, and the performances are amazing. There's particularly one scene in the movie that's just like, wow, you had like one shot to do it, and you really nailed it. And that's the actress from Doctor Who, Rosa in 42. She's amazing in it. She's so good.
Do you know? Just on the topic of one takes, do you know? One of my favorite. It's not. It's gone down a little bit for me, but definitely like a movie that I absolutely love, La La Land.
Birdman.
You know how they have that one take sequence on the top of the cliff side as
Never
the
seen
sun
it.
is going up. You've never seen La La Land? You
Oscar
hate
bait,
musicals, to be fair.
wanking
I don't
bullshit.
think La La Land's Oscar bait, but it is. It's a musical, so you'd hate it.
I don't hate all musicals. I love Joker, Diox, Libel.
Okay, well, there's a one take dance sequence on a cliff top as the sun. I think they filmed it as the sun was setting. I think, but it's meant to be sunrise in the movie.
What do they call that?
Oh no, it's sunset in the. I can't remember.
What's that called in the film time? It's the golden hour.
It's a bit after. It's more in Blue Hour, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Which is after Golden Hour.
Fuck me, right?
And they rehearsed it all day, and they knew they had enough time to do it 4 times, to run the take 4 times. And they rehearsed it all day, and they got it on the first one. They were like, "Do we go again?" And they were like, "No,
I love that.
we got it. Good on them."
I've been watching The Curse
The Curse.
with Emma Stone and Nathan Fielder and Benny Safdie.
One sentence answer. Do you like it?
It's fucking weird,
Yeah, I've heard
but
that.
I do like it. I haven't finished it, but it's fucking weird.
Cool.
And Curve finished. Final was fine. It's just making fun of the Seinfeld final, which is pretty funny. I thought the final season was actually really good. A lot better than season 11.
I might hit on Curb. I know we
do
talked
it.
about this off air the other day.
Honestly, if you just want a show just to chuck on, it's perfect.
it's not. I'm not going to be sat there drooling at
It's
it.
an improvised show. There's no script. It's incredible. The talent behind that show is amazing. Larry David is like one of the greatest comedy fucking writers, performers of all time, improvisers.
Man.
He's an inspiration for me. It is one of the greatest shows, sitcoms of all time,
That
for
is
sure.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Which is now done.
dead now.
It was
of
a
course.
fine. It was a fine final. Every Curb since like season 9 has been like fine. Good. Not
I just
bad.
want to recommend one thing this time.
Fire away, Aiden.
Lovely
Shoot your
book,
blanks.
by Matt Haig.
We both read books from Matt Haig.
We both have, but different books.
Yeah.
So the one that I read, it's called The Midnight Library, and finished reading it the other day, and I absolutely bloody loved it. It is, I said on Twitter, it's like a self-help book disguised as fiction, and then I sort of said, isn't that what most good fiction is? Because most good fiction, you want to get some meaning out of it, and so
That's like a Stephen Moffat quote. Or in other words, fiction.
they call me a young Stephen Moffat.
Yeah, I bet.
But it's a lovely story about, I guess in a way, it's like life's not what you expect out of life, but the way you look at life. And I think they say a couple times in that life, it's not what you see that matters. It's how you see it. And it just gives you a lot to think about. It's like it starts with like kind of a black comedy vibe. And this isn't a spoiler. This is like the inciting incident is a girl like kills herself.
Lovely.
And she's given the opportunity to try alternate lives where she didn't feel that way about herself. And it's all done with like a lot of heart and a lot of comedy. It's a really funny book, like really good dark comedy stuff in there. Like it's not, if you're worried about it being like really depressing with how that is handled, it's handled really well, but it's handled in quite a black comedy fashion. And the whole book is really good, really powerful. And I finished reading it. The day I finished reading it, I was like walking around with a pep in my step. I was like, oh, fucking...
That's awesome.
It's not how you see it. It's not what you see in life. It's how you see it.
I love that. Mom? Well, Matt Haig literally has a book called Reasons to Stay Alive.
Yeah, I feel like he's been through some shit, you know?
Yeah, he has that. Yeah, I read his book, Notes on a Nervous Planet. I think it's called. Yeah, he's dope, man. He's awesome.
I got to say about Midnight Library as well, is it's very Stephen Moffat.
Oh.
Like it really, one, in terms of the comedy it has, I think, and two, in terms of just like it's like a bit fantasy. There's like fantasy elements about it. There's sort of timey elements about it, but it's all told with like a deep character focus. And,
That's awesome. Yeah, it does sound quite Stephen Moffat-y.
It's very Stephen Moffat, like very Stephen Moffat.
That sounds great. I should read more books. I should become more intellectual and do that shit.
Well, I read Waters and Mars in a couple of days, and I really loved that. That was the next
that
book
is
I read
really
after
okay.
that.
Yeah, I did read that. That is really good.
Really
My
good
boy
book.
Phil Ford.
Really good book.
Oh, his tomatoes.
Okay, Connor, can I get a rating?
Yeah, sure can.
Sorry,
sure.
his tomatoes? What?
The tomatoes.
What?
The tomatoes.
What are you talking about tomatoes for?
Tomatoes. The tomatoes that his father grew tomatoes in the greenhouse and.
Oh,
is
the
it Andy
backstory
Stone?
for Andy Stone.
Stone. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a really. It's such for a story that's so great.
That was very niche of a comment for you to make.
What do you mean? It's literally, you know, when you open up the book and it has the normal. It normally has like the who it's credited to.
Yeah.
It says like his father's name and his tomatoes. You'll see it.
Oh wait, Phil Ford's dad, not Andy Stone.
Whatever Andy Stone's dad's name is, it's like, say his name's Jerry. It's like to Jerry and his tomatoes. Do you know when they have the little credits?
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
it has that on there.
All right, Connor, out of 10.
It's not my fault you're not paying attention, Aiden.
What are you giving Whatever Happened to Sarah Jane?
8 out of 10, baby.
Wow.
Wow.
So that is... So you still preferred Revenge of the Sylvine over this?
Yeah, definitely. Will I go that at 9?
He did. I'm putting this exactly on
my scores
par
are so
with Revenge of
good.
the Sylvine, and I'm giving it an 8.5.
Go off, King.
Because I loved it. It was close to being my favourite, but I think Revenge of the Sylvine, I was sat there thinking about it way longer after. Like after Revenge of the Sylvine, I was like walking around like...
With a spring in your step, just like after you read the Matt Haig book.
I was just like chuckling to myself the whole way.
Okay, that's
whereas
good.
after this, I loved watching it, but really didn't think about it much after I watched it. And we didn't have a lot to say on it as well.
A moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips, as Aiden say. You love the cake analogy for Sarah Jane.
It's a good fucking analogy.
Yeah, it is. Stephen Moffat Jr.
The camera is about to cut out very soon.
Oh,
so
okay.
Connor, let's sing out our little song.
Goodbye, good friends, goodbye.
It's
Aiden, goodbye.
and Connor's podcast.
Goodbye, my friends, goodbye.
We're doing Doctor Who reviews.
But it's time to go.
Doing
Doctor Who reviews till next. It's gone.
The camera's dead.
I took too long.
The camera's gone.
I didn't know you meant it that
We
literally.
did do a really slow rendition of the outro then.
It happens. Goodbye, my friends. Just enjoy this thumbnail.
What would you rate out of 10 this episode? Like our podcast episode?
I think a good 7.
Yeah, it was like a weird one.
It was not bad. It wasn't good. It's not the best we've done. It's not the worst.
I think the thing with these Sarah Jane Adventures ones, it's actually hard to talk about them because they're so simple.
It's just like, I know no one's watching, so I can just say whatever I want.
Well, quite literally, no one's watching right now. It is a blank screen. It is blank.
True. If you're watching
We're
this,
in-
type in the comment section
I'm still listening.
to Aiden and his tomatoes. Write that in the
And
comment
that's a
section.
note to end on there.
To Aiden is to fucking tomatoes.